Okay, I'm just having a little fun playing with the apps, you know. I'm gonna zoom in a little bit so you can see what I'm doing. So this started with, I actually think I might add some more to it, but I like to run, this is my new thing I'm doing now, is running Koala rather, in AUM as IAA. I used to do that way, and then I switched over to just running it as a AUV3. But the problem I have with that is it's great for mixing as an AUV3, but when you want to record into it, it's not gonna work. So I'll run it separate, and then I use the radio AU to gather something that I've liked, right? Some sample, and I ran it through the Fluss, and then created the sound that you hear, which is, so that's basically looped. I mean, it's not looped, but it's played, and then I pitched that same sample, the same exact thing, just made a second copy, three semitones down. I'm not speaking well today. All right, and then what I did was I put some drums together. These are free drums that I kind of beefed up a little bit by stacking them, but they were from this website. They giving away free underground, I forgot what it's called. I think I mentioned in a previous video, but it's like underground hip hop drums, and they have the vinyl. They were sampled from vinyl, so they got that vinyl in there, and I'll tweak them to my liking to fit the song how I want them. So that's what you hear on the drums. Throw those in, and then I went and grabbed the Hammond B3 X from IK Multimedia. I love EOS too, so I grabbed the ambience in there. I usually run it on a light, like 9 to 10% of that. That's in the mix. That's it. Just real soft over it, just to keep it in that feel of the song. Hopefully I didn't move the iPad out of screen view. And so then I made this. All I'm doing is just playing that with the OP1, MIDI just straight in, played it. I know I don't know the key, to be honest with you. I could probably tell you what the key is and sit here and figure it out, but I just played what I knew would work, and the sounds that are in the key are pretty much C, D, E, F sharp, G, A, B, right? And that's it, just those notes to create this. Then I need to do a bass, I guess, at some point. Then I went in and I just decided, I want to play some horn, like saxophone or something. So I opened up the tenor sax. I used the preset called the sound. Turn up the vibrato. Usually I do the vibrato by hand. I just didn't feel like it. I kind of got lazy, I must admit. Threw some EOS 2, same principle. Put about, I have this one set a little higher for the horn, 50%, because I don't mind. All right. So put that in, and then I'm just playing over the top of it, right? If you want to like adjust it, I usually keep this open. I'll play with one hand, because mind you, it's just single notes. It's not like I'm playing chords. Okay, I'm not recording that yet. I'm just showing you what I could do with that. And then what I would do is add a bass, because this really needs a bass. So I am very much a person who likes natural sounding things. I know it's contrary to a lot of electronic music, because typically you would have stuff that doesn't sound very natural, like real instruments. So I've shown this in the past. I think it's Mango. What is it called? Blue Mango is a great one for bass, for real sounding bass on iOS. And then I have audio layer, and then I have some bass sounds in there that I use. Okay, so I got like, let me find my pack here. Just grab, hold on a second. This is my finger. This is what would happen when you have fat fingers on the mini, right? You can't even, you should be able to just move this around. Hold on a second, let me do this. There we go. But sometimes it don't work out that way. Trillion is what I use. These are just sample sounds. I actually have Trillion on the computer. And I like this R&B bass that I typically would use. I actually got to switch this off from the OP1 and put the OP1 over here so I can try to mess with the bass. There we go. I don't put reverb on bass typically. I think it's, I mean, you can put a little bit on there, I guess, but I don't. Let's just play it. All right, so I could just stay in the key and do that probably, but sometimes I'm kind of like wanting to know exactly what I'm playing, right? So what I will do is I will send this by going export, and I'll go current sequence. It can be mixed, I don't really care. And we'll just go test. I don't really care what that says. What I probably didn't even spell it right. And then I will just go send it over to Chord AI just to get a second opinion on what chords I play. And so Chord AI is telling me I'm playing in the key of G. Okay, right? Makes sense. First chord is a C major 7. I like how they added these Roman. This is new. They updated and added these Roman numerals. That wasn't there. They update a lot on this app too, which I respect the devs of it. Okay, so the first chord is a C, then a C. Then you see when it says and E, that means that in the bass note I'm playing an E, even though it's an F sharp minor. So you can't even see my fingers probably, can you? Maybe you can. I can't tell. You could play that E too, so you could go C. I'll have to hear it when I'm playing it to see how it goes. All right, and then looks like I'm only playing 4 chords. Is that all I'm playing? But they change a little, right? Because yeah, they do. So C, C, E, E. Then I go C, C, because I'm playing the C in the bass note. Based on what they're saying, I'm just going off of that. E, E. So it's the same bass line. It would just be 2 notes, really. C, 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 E, E, C, C, E, E. It's the same thing. All right. So that's just a little trick I use. Unless I'm playing in a certain scale. I only do this primarily. I do it primarily for samples. Because when you sample, sometimes you don't know what the person played. You're just going off of what you hear. Right? So this is like 2 notes the whole time. So I'm going to have to play around and come up with a bass idea for just that. So here we go. Okay, I got an idea. So I'm basically going to use a C chord, a C major. Then I'm going to use an E, basically an E minor. But I'm going to add in that other, what note is this? Is this a 6th note? 6. That's all I'm gonna do. That keeps me in the right scale of the G, but at the same time, I think it'll sound pretty cool. So to record in, I'll just pretty much go back to the sample page. I'll click that on. It's set. It's recording, but technically it's not gonna do anything until I hit the note. So I'm just gonna go ahead and give myself a little count in because I like to do that. Pre-roll, set it to 1. As soon as my finger decides to work there, okay, then hit record. Okay, that probably did not record as to be expected because I think I messed up there and I didn't put this mix bus out to the thing so it would pick it up. Okay, now we got it. All right, we'll start over. It's all right. Start back at the beginning. Messing up. Start over. Okay, that's it. Simple bass line. I'm gonna go ahead and do crop, see how it sets it there. That, by the way, if somebody wondering how I'm doing that, because I always wondered that too, and nobody ever showed me, but, well, somebody showed me, but it took a while for me to get it. If you go to the audio settings, excuse me, I just moved that. It says auto trim on record. That's the key. If you set that, and by the way, I have that kind of in here where it waits till I record something, and same thing in the SP. You can't see where I'm pointing because it's dark, but that's what you want. Auto trim on record so that the initial spot when you plug in a note will automatically trim. It saves you a lot of time of editing. So you might say, well, this isn't a complete 4 bars. You're right. And the good thing is in here, all you got to do is just kind of punch it to the end. Leave that space though. Don't get rid of it just in case you're off a little bit. Maybe even leave a little bit more. All right. Then when you go in here to sequence it, you know this is 4 bars because you only played for 4 bars. I think it's on 5. It will automatically show you where it's going to loop at, right? That's all I'm doing. And if I stop hitting that button, play over here. Let me take off the metronome and turn off this count in. See, because it's set for 4 bars. It's automatically going to go back for you. So you don't have to really even trim the end if you don't want to. So that's why I said just leave it. Don't waste your time sitting there trying to do it. It's a little off, I feel like. I'd probably go back and perfect that if I like the track enough to do it, right? I don't like the way that sound right there. Yeah, it's corny. I don't know. It just don't sound right. So let's re-record it, right? I'm the kind of person where if this was MIDI, sure. And that's another thing. If you're scared of that, like where you might have to record, you might forget what you played, then just put a MIDI in here, hook it up to a AUM 2, and then just run your MIDI through it, and you can fix notes if you want. But because I don't care for doing that, and I'd rather just play it, till I get it. That's just my vibe. That's how I do. All right. So same principle, go back in. I need to turn this on. So usually I don't turn off nothing until I'm ready, right? Until I'm like completely, that's it. But so let's do this. Okay. I will crop the first one out. It should go in. But it's not. I'm going to stop it there. All right, cool. Not bad. I like it. I do hear one note I wouldn't mind sustaining a little bit longer, but for the sake of time in this video, I'm not going to do that. All right. So it'll be all right. If I was going to really, oh, look what I've done here. Keep that set at, okay. It's the hardest part about the iPad is when you're on small fingers, just kind of cramp trying to touch all this screen. Anywho, all right, so that is it for this one. I just wanted to show you some of my workflow stuff so you can see. I do like working with audio better. Typically, that's why I prefer to record into the computer. It's just because it's easier. If you make a mistake or if something is a little off, you can adjust it. A lot of times I don't adjust most stuff. I just play it till I get it. And iPad actually taught me that because I didn't have that. I still don't have that option in iPad to really sit there and micro adjust. I guess you could go in there and chop up the bass line if you wanted to and then have the parts hit. But the problem is you're not going to be able to like it might be this note that's off. Let's just play it and see if it's that note that's off. Or whatever note that was I want to adjust. Yep. I like that. Okay, so watch. So this one note is off here. It's not off, it's on, but it's not, I didn't strike it hard enough. And I don't know what note that is unless I do it in MIDI. So that's a thing that you might think about if you are unsure, like if you want to play it again, or you like real nervous about that part of it, which believe me, it's okay if you are. You definitely play in MIDI first. Start out that way till you get used to it and play your, if you want to see how to do it, I'll show you. I'm not going to do the whole thing, but I'm just going to show you how to set it up in case you're wondering how I would do that. So you take MIDI, create a MIDI track in AUM, drag it over here. You're going to put in, you need something to put it in. So I use Atom. I think the notes are easier to adjust in Atom, at least for me. And you want this to be Atom, and you want to take off your MIDI, whatever your MIDI controller is, make it go into Atom first. Then you can set your bars up. If you're just going to do 4 bars, there it is, right? 4 bars. The bars up and down here tells you what bars. Boom, hit record. Turn off the quantization. If you leave it on, it's going to be sounding super sterile, right? So just turn it off. There's nothing wrong with that. When you're playing an instrument, if you're doing drums and you feel like you need it on, turn it on. You can turn it off and on, or if you just feel like you need it, leave it. But the good thing about MIDI is you can adjust the notes, so you might as well try to learn to play without it, if you can, right? All right, so what I'm gonna have to do is we're gonna have to make another loop. We're gonna make a duplicate loop here. As soon as my finger decides to work, right? And we're gonna take that bass line out so I can play over it. So now the bass line is not on this loop, and that's the loop we're playing into. We're gonna go sample, I'm not gonna hit record this time because I'm gonna record it to the MIDI, so it really doesn't matter. All right, push back. Now you still got to put your count in. So turn the count in, pre-roll on. Make sure that little green light right there tells you that you're going to hear a tick, right? Hit play. Oh, let me tell you this. Before you do that, make sure in here you have this red one on. Recorder. It won't record anything you're doing. All right, so go back. We're ready to go. Let's play it again. All right, so as soon as I can hit stop, I'm going to turn the record off. Now let's take a look at it. Here's the MIDI notes. I ain't going to say I played that perfect, but it was better than the other time. Not too bad, right? And then I'll show you how to get it into to there. So here it is. Let's just play it. It'll give us the count in. All right, cool. So there's the bass. I'm going to get rid of the one I played because I actually think this one is better, right? Not a problem. No big deal. But we want to record back there. So how do we do it? Simple. You're going to leave it as it is. You're going to hit record here. Just play it and it's going to record. And it should not record the ticks. And you see how I let it play the first note? That tells me where the loop point is. So we're going to automatically, because we already set that auto trim in, just crop it. Now drag your finger in, and that first note is perfectly on time. So if you really want it on time and you want to work with that, let it play out to that first note again. And I'm blind, so I have to zoom in really close. If you're not, that's good for you. All right, now you got that perfect loop. So now all you got to do is you got to remember to turn this off, though. And the best way to turn it off is just drag it over, right? Now we can go back in and turn off the metronome, turn off the bar. So this is the way I started with it when I did, well, no, I didn't. I started just playing regular because for me, I didn't know, understand the MIDI. And of course my battery's going to be dying soon. So I got to hurry up and play this. All right, so this video is going to end soon because I'm just going to play it for you to let you hear it. Stop talking to me. All right, so in order to do that, we need to go into this one because this one has it on there. See? Perfect loop. All right, so just like this is the same way I would use the SP, so don't feel like you can't use SP if you can't. They are different button mashing. Who cares? You learn one, you got the other. Okay, that's how I did it. I learned more by using Koala than I did off the SP. The SP came later for me. Some people are opposite. They learned SP first, and then it just doesn't matter. Whichever one you can afford and learn it. And then you'll get used to that kind of workflow. And this workflow works in the OP1 too, because technically you're just recording to a timeline. So you're playing it in. Now the difference is you don't have the MIDI. So if you're uncertain about that, then use the MIDI and the OP1 and then record it back into the tape if you want to do a perfect, if you're, not used to doing and trying to make a perfect loop. Anyway, just so many options. It's up to you how you want to do. Super simple. I'm going to save this just because fun amp. I always like to put the BPM in here, 73 BPM, and I like the key. I'm going to call the key G just because it's showed me G major. I'm going to assume that's what it is. For right now I am because I don't know. Okay, so there it is. I just called it Fun Ambient something, whatever, and Fun Ambient vibes or whatever. All right, cool. So this is using ambient music to make kind of a cool thing. If this iPad dies, it's because it needs to be charged. That's the only thing Well, that's not the only thing, but that's one thing that I really hate about the iPad Mini 6. The battery life is horrible, especially if you're trying to do music on it. So you got, although I've been using it for quite some time today, so I can't complain about that. But I do have a dongle coming. I'll show you that update once I get it in today or tomorrow or something like that, where it'll allow me to charge it while I'm playing. So that's kind of a needed thing. If you get the iPad Mini and you're gonna be doing music on it, you're definitely gonna need a way to charge it while you're doing it. And that's where batteries like that come in handy, where you can plug it in and charge and still be playing your music and recording out. All right, that's it for this video. This is video number 3 for the day. I try to do about 2 to 3 videos a day. They're on different subjects. Some of it times it'll be like this where it's on the same subject, but I might show some use cases, how I would use it. And then you have any questions. Sorry about the stupid color change of this iPad. It doesn't look anything like that in real life. It has a really bad glare on it, and I'm not sure how to fix that. Although I'm not trying to spend money on lighting. I'm not getting paid to do this. I'm just doing it for fun. So, yeah, that's all I wanted to show you. Okay? Hopefully you learned something, pick something off, and use it for your benefit to make cool music. And hopefully if you have any comments, you'll share them with me. All right. Take care.